Tell me about how you felt about that before the issue of of the child came up.
I really think back on it. I remember just times we would sit down. There was just nothing to do, and the world could go to hell around us, and that wouldn't matter because we had each other, right? I mean, it was, and at some point that started to change. But we had something for sure.
So the most important parts of your life before the question of the baby arose was each other.
Mm.
Not so much the company at that time, more each other. Is that correct?
Started fading like we wouldn't spend as much like intimate time together. Maybe also leading up to the baby, and that I don't know if that created some of the distance or not.
So what happened after the abortion?
Something I still cannot understand this. Came back one day from work, and she had put my dog down. She killed my dog as some sort of retaliation for her decision to have an abortion at what she perceived to be like my urging. And it's one thing to try to like go after me. It's another, yeah, really. It's another to kill a fucking animal. Like to kill an actual animal to try to like spite somebody was unbelievable. Like that's, and this is the difference, is I would never have expected that from her, and it creates this dissonance in your mind because you expect her to be one way, like this person you've been married to for almost 10 years. I didn't know her at that point.
I really didn't do it
Me.
to piss you off.
Why didn't you tell me about it then? It's just a coincidence it happens a relatively short order after the abortion thing.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
do you want someone to be alive when they're suffering? What's the point?
I might want to know about it, and you could have told me about it, and then I would have at least known that you weren't doing it out of spite.
It had been heard for a while.
Yeah. I felt like there was no point, but I told you that I did it out of revenge, but it wasn't the case. I didn't want you to understand me anymore. I didn't care.
Mission accomplished. No.
I just didn't care anymore. I wanted you to be angry at me because I was so angry at you, and I just didn't care.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, even, number one, absolutely don't believe you. Even if I did believe you, then you're just the same thing with the baby. You're using it to fulfill something in yourself the same way it's a form of manipulation. Like, you're trying to get a response out of me instead of just talking to me. If I believe you, you killed my dog in order for me to, like, acknowledge you in some way. Like, I can see how that could reflect on me in not giving you what you need, I guess. But the fact that you resort to that is...
How do you react to that?
You think I'm just playing a role here? Just to...
You basically admitted that, right? I mean, you admitted you played a role before. You played the role of the girl who killed... the wife who killed my dog, right? So why would we expect anything different here?
It seems in this situation that Beth feels like she's not being heard. Do you believe that's true, Daniel?
Do I believe she feels like she's not being heard?
Whether she's right or she's wrong.
Like at this moment or when
At
she
this
killed my
moment.
dog out of spite?
In both cases.
Yeah, but she's not communicating, so I don't know how I'm supposed to hear her when she doesn't tell me anything. All she does, kill my dog, and doesn't communicate beforehand.
So, since this is a safe space, would you like to hear what Beth has to say?
Didn't we already hear it?
Right, but But she feels even right now that she isn't being heard. It, she seems to feel like there is maybe a brick wall here. And at the same time, you feel like she's going to make just more excuses and alibis to prove the same thing again and again. So you're not willing to have your soul divested into this.
I will hear her out on it and probably try to respectfully disagree, but I will listen.
Okay. Beth, if you have an opportunity to be heard at this point, especially by Daniel, what would you say to him?
I just don't feel like you're understanding where I'm coming from. I mean, I know you're physically here, but I don't know. I don't think you're trying to really understand me. And we were so amazing together. We really were, and it felt like from one day to the next you just disappeared. You didn't want to be with me, you weren't there. Whenever I came to talk to you, you told me you didn't have time. I mean, at one point I even thought you were cheating on me because you didn't want to have sex. I mean, what am I supposed to assume? Everyone knows, you know, when this starts happening that someone's cheating.
We were so busy. Like, I was always attracted to you. I was just so focused on work and the company.
There seems to be a gradual erosion of the trust that you both naturally vowed to put into it as per being married to each other. And it seems to me also that deep down inside, even if the trust is lost right now, the desire to have had the trust all this time hasn't been lost between the both of you. With all the anger and the distrust, what still seems to have remained is the desire to have still kept the trust. Am I reading the both of you correctly?
That's right.
Is the trust between the both of you the reason why the company is successful?
I think in part, yes. I also think in part we're here because of this, because I put in, to be fair, we both put in a lot of work to it.
Beth, what is your take on what Daniel just said?
I mean, I can see that the work was important to you. I get that. You know, it was important to me too, but I felt like there was no balance anymore. And how am I supposed to feel? I don't. If you would have at least told me that it was going to get better, that, you know, you were going to work for a bit, but you would be able to spend time with me.
We're trying to grow this company, right? I mean, that's something that we had both kind of planned on, so it wasn't like me just not communicating. I mean, we were in that whole thing together.